midway through the third quarter?
We had the momentum going into halftime, and so when they went on that run, we were kind of like, what are we doing? Like, we can't, start out like this when we played such a good first half. And so we tried to really lock down on defense. But yeah, no, it should never get to the point where it's 17-0 coming out of halftime when we have the momentum. That wasn't good. So we talked about that.
For either of you, what do you think was the difference coming out of halftime? Was it just Michigan playing differently or something that changed defensively?
I don't think anything changed defensively. Because we talked about coming into the game and like playing how we played first half. So I think we just needed to play the same way. We talked about getting stops, which we did the first half, and we didn't do the second half. I think that's the most difference, just getting stops and defense.
Michigan had, or for either of you, Michigan had 4 of their starters in double figures. Can you talk a little bit about the challenge defending a team when they've got so many different options they can go to offensively?
Yeah, I mean, it's, every team in the Big Ten has shooters. Everyone on the big team can score. It's just whether or not we can stay in front of people, and I think that's been our challenge this entire year is staying down, staying in front of people, and not fouling. So there are times where we were getting 3, 4, 5 stops in a row. We can play defense. We can lock teams down, I think, is when we had lapses when people were getting to double digits.
Mercy, you've been seeing more playing time recently, and you guys had 25 points off the bench today. How do you stay ready, especially when the team gets in early foul trouble and you're seeing early minutes?
I think it starts at practice, just going hard to practice. I think one of my focus has been getting more rebounds. I think I'm improving on that aspect, and just have to kind of convert to offense so I can help my team in that aspect.
Other questions for our student athletes today?
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a hard fall. We had great games with Michigan over the last, 5, 6, 7, however long, since I've been here. And we've had years where we swept them and they beat us in the tournament, and then they swept us, we beat them in the tournament. We've had these great battles, Veronica Burton's versus Naz Hillman, pros and All-Americans. And so today was no different. It was hard fought, tough game. I thought we were ready to play. We just, at halftime, it felt like we were up. We had the momentum. We had the crowd behind us. A great crowd today. It was really loud. And, we just couldn't stop that run in the third quarter. And we called timeouts. We subbed in different lineups. But give them credit. They made, we did a really good job guarding them in the second quarter, especially the last 4 or 5 minutes of the second quarter. And again, so at halftime, I felt like we had the momentum, and you got to carry that over. And Michigan just played really well in the third. We kept fighting, came back. We got in single digits in the fourth, and thought maybe we could. We had a couple of really good looks at some threes that didn't go in with some of our better shooters. Maybe you get it down to 5 or 6, and you got a different outcome. But give them credit, and said they handled that run, and it just we couldn't get. Like I said, if we could get that down to 5 or 6, I felt like we had a chance to win.
Coach, Kaylee Walsh shot 3 of 4 from three-point range and had 14 points on the game, leading all Northwestern scores. What did you think of her three-point shooting performance today, and how it's been all season, as this is statistically her best three-point shooting year?
Yeah, she hadn't. I think when you're struggling as a team, sometimes you force a little bit, and she got in some foul trouble too. We got to get her out, in and out. To me, her best offensive weapons are when she can play inside out, when she can get you on the block and score. She did a little bit of that, and then she can step out and stretch the defense. And she's starting to put more work in beyond the arc. So I was happy for her today, because I think she's seeing not just the work pay off, but the shot selection, to taking good shots at the right time. And that's always been something that we talk about. Point. Thanks.
When you guys were battling back, it was a 15-0 run you guys went on. Held Michigan to no points for 6 minutes. Tell me about that defensive performance.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, again, it's kind of been. I knew we'd play well today. I think it's been a great rivalry game. Our kids, excited to play Michigan. It's always been that way. Last time they played here, they were ranked 4th in the country. We beat them in double overtime, and that's why I brought Mercy. Mercy played in that game. Paige, Jazz. So, there's the type of games that I expect. But we need to play defense like that the entire game instead of, stretches. And I think that's been a challenge for us all year. And we get, we do all these great things, and we got to sustain it, Tuesday and next week and into the tournament. But I think that is a positive that you take a team like Michigan who has a lot of weapons, and we came right back on a 16-0 run, and as you mentioned, 6 minutes without them scoring. So we'll show that tomorrow too.
Kind of building off that a little bit, during that run, you had kind of the same lineup out there of Caroline, Casey, Mel, Kaylee, and Paige. That's been a lineup that, I know you've tinkered with the lineup a lot, but that's been kind of a consistent at times. I was just wondering if you could speak on the success of that lineup, both today and just in the season in general.
Yeah, part of our problem, and we saw it this past week, we've been in foul trouble a lot, and especially, with our post players. So, a lot of times we've had to go with a smaller lineup. So, and we're looking, we're not big to begin with. So I think that's why we're seeing Mercy more, and she's doing a really good job for us. But, that lineup, it can share the ball. They're I think they understand each other's games. So hopefully that'll carry over into the Big Ten tournament and get some momentum there.
Coach, can you just talk about today being the 10th different unique starting lineup on the season and how all that playing around and tinkering either builds consistency or trust or hasn't been allowed to allow that to foster?
No, I think there's silver linings. When you're I haven't had many. I've only had 2 or 3 losing seasons in 30 or 35, 40 years. So I'm not good at this. I don't have, my speechwriter got fired, that was me, because I'm out of speeches. And I've coached probably 1,300 Division I games. So you're used to trying to handle every situation. But I think within the frustration of our not winning, we're still playing really hard. There's a silver lining. We're seeing, we saw it this past week, and then we saw it today, people stepping up. And, I think so that's really encouraging. The future is really bright. We have a top 20 recruiting class. We have Lauren Trumpy. I think we can get her healthy as one of the best players in the Big Ten potentially. So, I think we'll be right back where we were 2-3 years ago. But that being said, I think our players have, they come every day. You should see practice. I mean, the energy, the attitude. So I'm proud of them, and I want to finish this week really strong.
Coach, you mentioned Kaylee Walsh's foul trouble. She played 24 minutes today. How do you balance her playing time, especially when she's having such an offensively dominant day?
Yeah, it's tricky, because you need her on the floor, but you need her to where she's not, where she's doing the things she's supposed to be doing, and she's good at. So, sometimes when you're in foul trouble, you get a little tentative, and maybe you don't defend, at the level that we're looking for a rebound. But I think she is doing a better job of playing within herself and not making fouls that would, 30, 40 feet from the basket or things like that, And I think that's where we're seeing the growth and, maturity. That group of juniors, has all played a lot of basketball here.
One more question.
Coach, a very short turnaround before senior day on Tuesday.
Yeah.
How do you use the momentum from today's game to get ready for that match against Indiana?
Yeah. I think we'll be ready. Indiana, is playing really well right now. They just beat Iowa this weekend. I think they're one of the best teams in the country. But we've had a lot of success over the years against Indiana too, and so I think we'll be ready to play. And for Jazz and for Paige, and for Maggie Pina, those three have given everything we've asked back to the program, and you want to see them go out with a bang too, and to play. Senior day, it's a special thing, especially, Paige and Jazz came in, played in the NCAA tournament, their freshman year, was part of a great team their sophomore year. And they've also tried really hard to be leaders this past year and a half, so I'm really proud of them. Guys, go ahead. Oh, all right, thank you, guys.